Hello. Thank you for joining me. I'd like to talk about lions and lion attacks today. If there was a lion outside of my house, in reality, I think that I would be extremely aware of my surroundings. I think that I would naturally be very open-eyed and have really great posture, and I would be looking around. I'd be securing my family, thinking critically about where my children are, where my spouse is, where my friends and family are, if they're nearby. Maybe I've got some neighbors that I can see. I'd be warning them that I just saw a lion in the streets. So there's a number of things I would do right away, but number one I think would be to be aware and be proactive about protecting my family. So once my family was all hunkered down within our fortress, whatever that might be, whether it be a hut or it be a castle, I would secure my fortress or fortify it, make sure the doors and windows are locked, get out any gun I might own, sharpen a stick, do whatever I can to prepare myself for what I believe to be an inevitable attack of a lion on my household and on my children. And I would also contemplate and plan my reactions, thinking through different scenario, but not obsessively, because I'm too busy actually paying attention to what's going on outside and actually, looking for the threat. I don't think that I would sit around wondering about my ability to succeed. I think I would be too busy acting and being proactive, protecting my family. Hopefully in a situation like that, I would be very practical and I would be very honest. And as I mentioned, I would be very proactive. Hopefully that would be my response. So then let's say I'm victorious and I survive this lion scare. Every time I go out from then on, I know that there's still possibly a lion out there. And any time that I go outside of my fortress, that could be the time that I go outside of my fortress and I meet a lion face to face. And I have to really ask myself, am I prepared to act? Am I prepared to act? That's a tricky question, isn't it? The thing about continual threat, like having a lion outside, is that there has to be continual vigilance. Because to fail to be vigilant with a lion outside is to either die or to allow the death of a loved one. And my ignorance or my inexperience or fear or panic, or maybe I just robotically shut down in the face of pressure, weakness, hesitation. There's no room for it. There's no room for that. That gets you killed. The lion waits for no man. You've got to be aware. You have to plan your actions. You must set a goal and set off with determination and ferocity. You must be determined to succeed. So, but why? What is at stake? What is so important? Well, you want to win, don't you? Right? Everybody wants to win. You don't want to fail, right? You don't want to be a loser, right? So what do? We have to take command of our will. We take command of our time. We take command of our thoughts. We decide what we're going to accomplish, right? And when you think about those things, whatever you're doing, is it worthy of you? Is it worthy of you? Who are you? What are you doing here? You know? I know my answers to those questions, but I don't know yours. And I am curious. So just because there's not a physical lion in your front yard or in the courtyard of your apartment complex or at the mall where you shop does not mean that there's not a lion present in your life, right? Because we're not just talking about physical lions. So to be face to face with a physical lion is to be, I can only imagine, in a state of like visceral fear. There's no time to think. When you're face to face with a predator of that caliber, you just react, right? I mean, I would think. I mean, hopefully you've been trained. Hopefully you've been prepared. Hopefully your mom or your dad, they warned you like, hey, there's lions out there. This is how we handle this situation when this comes up. You know, this is what you do when you're faced with a lion. There's lions in the streets. This is how we handle them. This is how we manage the lion situation. And if you're lucky and your parents were smart enough to warn you, then you have a distinct advantage. Maybe you already have your spear prepared. Maybe your children are already inside. Maybe you and your spouse or your partner have a plan of action. This is what we're going to do in the case of a lion sighting. But you have to be intentional about that. Evil is crouching at the door, and its desire is for you. You have to dominate it, because it wants to dominate you in every sense of the word. It wants to dominate you, but you must master it, and you can master it. You can, because Jesus will master it for you. Only Jesus, only the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, only the Holy Spirit are going to accomplish these things in your life. So we have to stay on guard. We have to be awake, because our enemy, the devil, is prowling around like a roaring lion, looking for someone to devour, to eat, my friends, my fellow humans. He wants to have his way with us. And when he's done, he wants to eat us up. He wants to eat us alive. We need to be on guard. We need to be awake, as if actual lions were outside. Because they basically are. Basically. Actual predators seek the lives of our children, of our spouses, of our friends and acquaintances, the guy at the gas station, the guy at the grocery store. And how we act matters. How we act matters. We need to be preparing our spears to fight the lions. We need to be securing our fortresses. We need to be watching what's coming in our eyes and what's coming in our ears and what's coming out of our mouths. And we need to be planning ahead, counting the cost of building the tower, not wondering if we can succeed, but trusting and rejoicing with gratitude that He has already succeeded for us. Right? He has won. He has won. And we get to be a part of it. Just along for the ride. And so are you. If you're smart, if you're lucky. Are you along for the ride? He is so good. What do you believe? Why do you believe what you believe? How do you act? Why do you act the way you act? Do you think you're going to give an account of your actions? Are there consequences for our actions? Are there consequences for our inaction? Well, I don't know you, but I love you. And I hope you have a nice night or day or whatever. Bye.